All right, here's my Yellow Jacket grinding wheel that just came the other day. I've had a chance to use it a little bit to sharpen up a few teeth, and so far so good. Seems to run, sharpen up fairly quickly. Looks like you can sharpen a tooth within about, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute, maybe 2 minutes both sides while you got to flip it around on the holder. But other than that, that's about it. This is how it comes. I got this one on the other, I wouldn't say backwards, but flipped, just because it wouldn't fit on this this DeWalt grinder. This is the DW 756 6-inch grinder. It wouldn't fit the other way just because it's too far away from the stop on the inside, so I had to flip it. I'm gonna maybe see about flipping it around the other direction with getting a spacer in there somehow. Anyways, it works this way. As you can see, this is how probably the outer side should be mounted. Right there's the servicing part right there for flattening the bottom of the tooth. And this is obviously the inside bit where you put your tooth in here, sharpen her up. It's a diamond coated blade or grinding wheel. It's very expensive, $700 Canadian. Actually, sorry, $780 Canadian with exchange and delivery to Canada from the States. So not cheap, but worth it, I think, in terms of sharpening up your teeth. As you can see here, I have a bucket full of teeth, old teeth. I have another tray here full of teeth and old nuts. As you can see, all need to be sharpened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sharpen one real quick, and hopefully you get an idea of how it works and the setup. This is an old tooth. There's a broken one, no good. So we're going to get rid of that one. So what I've done here is this grinding wheel. You can ask me in the comments below where to get it from if you like, but I ordered it from the States. Apparently it's a USA made wheel. They say it should last you a couple years, 2 to 3 years. And that's for professional kind of commercial use. So I'm hoping to get, who knows, 5-6 years out of this wheel if I just sharpen my own teeth and not do teeth for other people, which I don't plan on it. This is just for my own use, but hopefully it'll save me thousands of dollars in new teeth. So basically it gives you this holder. It's a pretty heavy unit. This is a mounting system that they have. They sell also a kit with the grinding wheel and a plate that basically this just kind of slides into in a jig, and then it gives you the right angle every time. I've seen to be able to do it just by hand by resting it on this fence here, and it seems to work fine. I got the angle pretty close. It's not an exact science. You don't have to get it exactly 100% perfect, but as long as it's close, it's good. So basically what you do, this is just the tooth holder. This is an old tooth that I just buffed off with the grinding wheel, or with the wire wheel, just to show you what a dull tooth looks like. This one isn't really that dull, or sorry, it's a chip on that one. Okay, I'm just going to grind this one side here just to show you. I could still use this side, it's still good. This is about where you want to grind them from in terms of wear. This one maybe could go a little bit longer, but I think just in terms of sharpening, if you pull them off a little bit sooner and sharpen them up, you get more life out of them. If you wait too long, like some of these teeth here, let me see, where's a good one? Here's one. So this guy here, as you can probably see, is fairly rounded over. It's hard to see. There we go. Right there, you can see that's really rounded over, almost to the point where it's too far. I mean, you got to sharpen it. You got to think you have to take the material off the front of this carbide tip here and go all the way back to get that flat again. So this one is probably a little bit too far gone. Maybe I used it too long. I should have pulled it off sooner. This side I can probably regrind, I think, or resharpen, and it should be okay. But you can see it's rounded over a fair amount. This side here is pretty rounded over, so you can see it's kind of flat on that edge, or rounded on that edge, way too far. Whereas this guy here, You see it's still got a bit of an edge. It's not, like I said, it could be used still fairly sharp. But let's just touch that up real quick. I'm just going to set it in my jig, and we'll give it a sharpen. Okay, so I just put it into my jig. Basically, it just uses the same nut that came with it, and the tooth holder. Pretty straightforward. Oh, I put it in backwards. Let me fix that. All right, there we go. So it's in the right way, right there. Now we can grind the front of that tooth and maybe do a little bit of surfacing. The manufacturer of the wheel says basically you want to grind this outside edge and try not to surface it, because you don't want to thin out this tip. As you can see, it's about, I don't know, 3 millimeters thick. It's, you know, maybe just under a 1/4 inch maybe. And yeah, it has to be ground back. That angle on the tip there, you can see. You need to keep that angle, and you also need to maybe give it a little bit of a surface. But I've been able to grind some of these teeth just on the surface edge, on the outside edge, and not have to do this part, and it seems to give me a nice sharp edge. So ideally you want to pull these off maybe a little bit sooner than later, instead of waiting till they're a little bit too far gone. Then you don't have to take off so much along the front. So let's give it a shot. It's going to be noisy, but I'll do my best here to do it with one hand. So here, just turn it on. Turn the guard down. Okay, so that took me all of about 30 seconds. And what you end up with, I'll try to focus here, is this edge here. So as you can see, I probably could have got a better angle on that. Hard to see, there we go. But you can see, I did a little bit of surfacing on this one, just the tip. Just to give it that sharp edge. I might do a little bit more on this angle. As you can see, it's a bit taken off that edge, so I'm going to try, or the angle's a little bit gone, so I'm going to try to shapen that up a little bit more. Let's try it now. Okay, so let's see that now. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this better here. Okay, so as you can see, I fixed a little bit of that angle there. There we go. Perfect edge now. You just have to get that edge, that angle right on the grinder, and then just basically give that a little bit, just the tip. You can see that's nice and sharp now. Just back to where it was. And the surfacing. Oh, sorry, this is hard to focus. I'm trying to do my best here. There we go. And nice new edge on that thing. Perfect. So, like I said, that didn't take very long. It took me about 30 seconds to a minute just to touch that up. And she's good to go. Nice and sharp. I mean, this thing is like brand new. It's a little bit shorter, yes. You're going to take off material, obviously, on the tip, and which is going to shorten the carbide bit. But I think it shouldn't be a problem if you're doing them all the same. You probably get about, like I said, I think we can get about 2 to 3 sharpens per tooth if you take them off soon enough, rather than wait too long. But it looks like that's given us a pretty good edge. So you can do this with a green wheel too. The only issue is with the green wheel, they don't have that curved portion in the grinding wheel right in here. So this one just makes it easy, as the tooth just fits in there nice. The tooth fits in there perfectly, and it's made for this tooth, so it grinds it perfectly round in one shot. You don't have to mess around with it. On a green wheel, which is right there, which is what I've used before, you kind of have to go on the sides and try to do this and try to get the angle right, and then you're going to try to surface the front of it on a curved wheel. It's a little bit difficult. It doesn't seem to do a good job. This one here is perfectly flat, and you can actually set the angle up by setting this right on the fence, and you have a nice flat surface to work from, and you can grind that thing nice and flat right on the inside, just like so. So that's the idea. Again, yellow jacket teeth for the Vermeer. Excellent wheel. I'm super impressed by the sharpen on this thing. I mean, this thing is perfect. So I'm going to be doing that on all these teeth. And it says I can grind, I don't know, a couple hundred teeth, maybe more, 300-400 teeth before you maybe have to replace that wheel, the grinding disc. But I mean, this thing is mint. So I would recommend, well, I don't know if I'd recommend people go out and buy a wheel, but unless you want to just buy new teeth every time, which I've been doing for years, until I found this this diamond coated yellow jacket grinding wheel on the internet, and decided to bite the bullet and do it, and I'm glad I did. So yeah, so that's it. Excellent little system here for grinding and sharpening. Look at that. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Any questions or comments, leave them below.